Delta strives to take the stress out of travel so you can focus on what comes next. And Delta Comfort Plus can help. With Sky Priority boarding, extra legroom, and a wide selection of unlimited complimentary snacks, you can arrive refreshed, ready to take on the world.
Welcome to another gathering of three of the most highly questionable people at ESPN. This is Izzy Gutierrez. He tops our list. What do you like on the show today, Izzy?
Raise your hand if you think Luka Doncic is the next LeBron James.
Who wants to be like LeBron? Nobody wants
to. All right, very good. Dale, Papi.
Do you buy the report that Chris Paul is telling people that LeBron wants to be in L.A.?
This is a report from Stephen A. Smith. Both of these voices are close to LeBron. Stephen A. Smith's information is usually pretty good on LeBron, and Chris Paul's information is usually pretty good on LeBron. I also think it happens to help that I already believe Los Angeles is the preferred destination. Many of us do, with the movies, the power brokering, trying to become an owner later in life. He wants more power after basketball. L.A. makes the most sense for a lot of reasons.
Chris Paul must be so salty. Like he's on the banana boat and he can't be a part of the super team with LeBron then. He goes to James Harden. He thinks, well, I got something good here. He only gets one round deeper. And now LeBron's not going to join him, his good friend LeBron. He's going to join another Western Conference rival where maybe CP3 is back to only getting out of the, maybe not getting out of the second round again. That's got to make him angry. So for that reason alone, I think he might have leaked this to Stephen A. Smith. But this is so amazing to me this offseason because really it is the NBA season, Dan. The last 8 Eastern Conference finalists have been decided essentially by wherever LeBron goes, and the last couple of Western Conference finalists have been decided by the offseason. This is what makes it so exciting. We're already so bored with Kawhi, Paul George, and LeBron potentially going to L.A. Now we're talking about KD and LeBron in L.A. It's amazing.
But here's one of the reasons that you should lend credence to anything Chris Paul is saying. That was heartbreaking ending to his season. That was crushing that he couldn't play in those games. Chris Paul has a body that's a little bit broken. He wants to know what his future looks like, and you can rest assured that he's talking to LeBron when trying to decide what that future looks like. It makes sense for a lot of reasons.
And the other thing about the LeBron side is this has to be his surest move he's made yet. Because if you think about it, going from Cleveland to Miami, automatic finals, Miami to Cleveland, automatic finals. Now he's the one who may not even get out of the second round, depending on what the Lakers do and how successful they are early on. He's the one who's saying, okay, I'm going out west. I might not make the finals. My legacy has to be more secure than ever for that to be the case.
Do you hear what else Chris Paul said?
What's that?
Oh, my hamstring.
My hamstring. That's what else he said. That was, he was quoted as,
And you wonder why LeBron doesn't want to play with him.
Can JC, DeAndre Ayton, and Marvin Bagley make Puma a legitimate competitor for Nike?
There is no such thing as a legitimate competitor for Nike. Nike is too far ahead of everybody in sneaker sales. But if you want to try and get in the sneaker game, the way you do it is you get someone like Jay-Z, who is trying to be relevant across decades. You fused with him as he goes from hip-hop mogul to businessman to agent and now sneaker power broker. He is a guy that initially they said he was his president. Now they are saying he is the creative director. Regardless, he's famous, and they want his famous name near their shoes.
Yeah, you know, I've only got one pair of Puma right now, and I'm a sneaker guy. That one pair of Puma happens to be a pair of Meek Mill Pumas. So, you know, associated hip-hop stars with sneakers, you're probably figuring something out. I mean, think about how successful the Kanye West sneakers were, both with Nike and with Adidas. And even before that, the S-Dots with Jay-Z were kind of popular too. But here's more important thing. When you listen to these guys talk, even Ayton in particular, you listen to them and they say it's not about product. It's just about that paper. We're just trying to get paid. And they recognize that not only is the shoe game kind of open because maybe folks are tired of Nike products, maybe folks are tired of Jordan repeating the same releases over and over again. So I think there's something there. But even if there's not, you could always pull the Vince Carter after a couple years and pull out of there and go to Nike and make that money instead.
Can I say something to JC?
Yes, of course, Papi.
Hey, JC, you see these shoes here? You know, can you beat these shoes? I'll pay $5 for these shoes. You know, but I tell you one thing, I drop them, I wear Pumas, you know. If you make me a good deal, you know what I mean? I'll Puma 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know what I mean? That's going to be a hell of a deal, you know what I mean? I can go to sleep with Pumas on it if you sign me up, you know? I'm a very reasonable person.
The Papi Puma.
Puma's on.
Should teams like Luka Doncic more or less after he compared himself to LeBron?
Oh, another LeBron question. Big shocker. 2 of the first 3 questions on the show, of course, are LeBron questions. Even if we have to go through Slovenia to get to LeBron, the Europeans have had a bad reputation for a long time, unfairly, for being soft. Kevin Garnett spent his entire career picking on just Europeans. That is no longer the case with the influx of international players. And so when one young guy like this comes in brazen, that's what you want to see if you're a team who's interested in drafting a guy whose skills are not in question.
Do you remember guys willingly comparing themselves to Michael Jordan? I remember guys running away from that comparison. Harold Miner was Baby Jordan, and I believe the nickname alone ruined his career. So this is hilarious to me that he's out there saying, oh yeah, maybe I'll be LeBron. Just be okay with a Steve Nash comparison if that's what comes. But really, this is the evolution of the foreign player. Back in 92, with the Dream Team and everything else, it created interest from all these other countries and created players. Now you've got players who are just like the NBA players. They're brash, they're not afraid, and they're willing to maybe compare themselves to the greatest player of all time.
So he's going to be like LeBron, eh? So he's going to cry, he's going to argue with the referees, he's going to flop, he's going to fake injuries, you know what I mean? All that good stuff,
He's going to lose in the finals.
That's right. He's going to, that's right. He's going to lose in the
aggressive on social media. He's going to put all his workouts in the offseason. He's probably going to bald early and hide it. I think it's going to be a very entertaining career.
He's going to stress out Ty Lue.
How concerned should the Falcons be about Julio Jones?
Relationship with T.O. There was more to the question there. We'll keep it moving here. The relationship with T.O. is not a problematic one. The producers of this show are incredibly lazy. So let's check in with one of the watch holders here. Julio Jones is crouched down at the finish line. Does that look like an incredibly fast Terrell Owens running a 4.4? Spoiler alert.
I ain't I ain't gonna cheat.
3. Ran faster than I said that. Took me longer to say it than it took him to run it. Regardless, you're buying the 4.43, is he?
I'm actually buying it. He looked pretty good, and that did look like a legit 40 yards, right? Distance-wise?
Okay, but when he was trying to get into the pros 20 years ago, he ran a 4.6 at the combine. My guess is he hasn't sped up a whole lot in the last 2 decades.
Let's just go ahead and skip right over that and talk about this Julio Jones situation, because I actually think it's legitimate fear for the Falcons if you just look at the chronology of it. First of all, when they signed Matt Ryan to the richest deal in football, that probably had to raise the antenna of Julio Jones there. Who's more valuable to that team, the actual MVP of the league or the guy he throws the ball to all the time? And then working out with Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens, during his career, had a history of finding his way to teams that he wanted to go to. If he is then advising Julio Jones, who's, by the way, the 8th highest paid wide receiver, and there are a handful of offensive names on that list ahead of him, then yeah, I would be afraid if I was the Falcons too. The only question I have is, what's more attractive than an MVP at quarterback who wants to throw you ball a lot on a team that just made the Super Bowl? I don't know if there's very many better places in that.
Except I would say this. I would understand if I'm Julio Jones how he would say to himself, hey, Matt Ryan, all you are is Ryan Tannehill. I make you into Matt Ryan. You're not someone who could be Matt Ryan without me. And my guess is Julio Jones thinks he could turn anybody into something that looks like Matt Ryan.
So Julio wants to get in shape, and he's hanging out with T.O., eh?
That's right.
Or if I were Julio, I wouldn't hang around with T.O. I would hang around with this guy.
Who? Oh,
I knew it was coming.
Look,
I knew it was coming.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
T.O., you've got competition, homeboy.
Mike Bibby, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bibby.
Is Bryce Harper playing himself out of a big contract?
Bryce Harper is playing himself out of the biggest contract. This is a sure thing. He is a young player, and everyone saw him headed toward $400 million if Giancarlo Stanton in his prime is about $340 million. But along the path, there have been a lot of strikeouts. He was terrible last month. I wonder if he's hurt, because it doesn't make any sense for a can't-miss prospect to be this bad for as long as he's been this bad, even understanding baseball's randomness. This guy is too good to be like this, and in this condition, he's not going to get the $400 million.
Well, I mean, he's been pretty random throughout his career. He's kind of been an every other year kind of guy, including the MVP year, down year, up year, down year. But I just want to talk about him shaving the beard here, because in baseball, with so many superstitions and everything that they do and routines and yada yada, he shaved his beard because he didn't like what was happening. So even he recognizes that something is up here. But honestly, the other thing that I thought of when he shaved his beard, I wanted to make it part of his brand. That's not part of his brand. He's no James Harden, if you know what I'm saying.
But because a young player can't simply remove his beard because he's slumping, we have to find nefarious reasons, and perhaps he shaved that beard to make his beautiful face more pristine for the New York Yankees, who will not allow beards but may have $400 million even if he's hitting .219.
Don't ever shave your beard.
That would be bad. It would be bad. Everything would just undulate. It would have an undertow. People would drown.
You should shave your beard.
Your face looks like the moon.
Okay, yeah, I thought I made all those jokes already.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
What is he training for? That game show he's on now, Joker's Wild?
That's right. That is the weird sort of
jokes.
He is. He's training for Joker's Wild.
I'm a one-trick pony. Literally. I show up at kids' parties and act cute. That's pretty much it. So excuse me for being bitter. When Geico says not only could we save you money on car insurance, but we do more. Like give you 24/7 access online, over the phone, or even via our award-winning mobile app. Well, ooh la la. Aren't they multi-talented? Hey, I said organic carrots.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Time to play the game that gets irrationally angry over trivial things. Do your question.
You gave us topics and events. That was angry?
I mean,
we question them.
It was just a slight moving of papers. It was not rage.
Do you question if Odell Beckham Jr. is playing the right position?
Odell Beckham Jr. has proven to be a great athlete in many different ways. Every time we check in with him, he's doing something amazing on videos. Let's check in here with how far he throws a youth football.
Get the heck out of here.
That is an 80-yard pass.
I don't know why I'm constantly surprised at world-class athletes doing things either out of their position or in another sport that's wildly impressive because they're world-class athletes. It just so happened he chose to be a wide receiver, but I guarantee you he could have been a quarterback, at least a superstar quarterback in college for that matter.
Also, not seen in the video, he also caught that, but Odell Beckham doesn't like to show off.
That was a mini football, huh?
It was a mini football.
Yeah, Andrew Luck must be jealous.
Andrew Luck, I can throw 110 yards. I can check down.
Nerf ball.
Do you question if Snoop looks good?
Papi likes Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg likes Papi. Snoop Dogg seems like someone who would train not quite that sturdily, more flimsily. Let's see what we've got here.
He's practically facing them. You might want to go side to side. What is he training for? That game show he's on now, Joker's Wild?
That's right. That is the weird sort of
jokes?
He is. He's training for Joker's Wild.
The NBA draft combine preview we're seeing here. This is terrible. Can we just see T.O. running again?
I mean, they're the same age.
For him.
They're the same age, T.O. and Snoop Dogg.
Whew, those legs. I'm going to get on a strap rack for a second.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because that's the Draymond Green finale right there. If you're training for basketball, you got to know how to kick right in the junk.
Snoop Dogg's got so many people in his life that guy exists just to do that at the end of workouts. It's his only job.
I will take that job.
You know, if he keeps working out like that, maybe he might look like this guy someday.
What guy?
Oh, God, come on, man.
There it is again, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bibby on a railroad track.
He'll never look like that.
Do you question if this camp looks fun?
Cam Newton, Papi. We like to check in with Cam Newton. Yes, my father likes
Cam Newton.
That's right. He didn't really add anything to what I was saying. Let's see what we've got here.
Just took away a P.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Oh, he on some fruity.
Hey. Did you tell Von Miller Happy Father's Day? What happened in the Super Bowl? What happened in the Super Bowl? Damn. What you say? What you say?
I said I was going to fight him.
Man, that is some disrespect.
We were all jarred by that. Even my father, and he doesn't know what Snapchat is.
Who's your daddy? That kid is your daddy.
Delta strives to take the stress out of travel so you can focus on what comes next. And Delta Comfort Plus can help. With Sky Priority boarding, extra legroom, and a wide selection of unlimited complimentary snacks, you can arrive refreshed, ready to take on the world.
highly questionable. It's broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that takes credit for everything. See? Oh, no.
This guy right here, look at him. He recognizes that. Yes, he looks at it in the mirror every day, taking credit for everything. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
AT&T Southwest, Rays and Astros.
The producers of this show are into the scraps now because I just got fed into my ear this information. Tony Kemp just ran more steps to record an out than any Astro this year. This is fundamentally useless information, but we'll show you the video anyway.
Huge if true.
More steps taken to record an out than any Astro
this year.
This year.
Just this year.
Do the Astros have a guy to record that the same way Snoop Dogg has a guy who kicks him? Who's counting steps out there? Why do we have this information? Izzy, are you intrigued?
It's called job creation. No, I just feel sorry for Mina Kimes and the Mariners. They're trying so hard to catch the Astros. Astros are winning every game they play, and the Mariners are still 2 games back and 136 runs back in run differential. That's nuts.
Bergman needs to spell his name correctly. It bothers me every time that he misspells it that way. Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know what? I mean, the Astros, they have a very good pitcher, Justin Verlander. But I tell you one thing, you know what I mean? The Tampa Bay, they got this guy, Carlos Gomez. You know, he's 2 for 17 against Justin Verlander. But tonight, he's going to come out swinging. And tonight, he's going to really go for defenses. And tonight, he's going to make history against Justin. Watch my word.
History being made by who's the guy?
Carlos Gomez.
All right, he picked him just because he's Latin.
I don't think your dad gets this show.
Tonight on ESPN, the College Baseball World Series, Arkansas and Texas Tech.
My father is always like this. Back to Ron Frazier and the University of Miami baseball teams. Arkansas's fans about everything sports are crazy, and they're crazy here, too.
I remember this. He slowed down, expecting to get just a normal confrontation, and he got tackled at the waist.
Yes, that...
he's coming to get me. Nope, he's coming to tackle me.
That's solid form all around. Excellent work by BP Thrower, whatever that was. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I was intrigued until the Gators lost the first game of this College World Series. Now I'm out.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the umpire in that game.
Already got a base hit, but that fastball was up.
That's the guy. That's right.
Voodoo hex on all of you.
That's impressive. I like Arkansas fans now. Anybody who chants "Woo Pig Suey" over and over again must be interesting.
Look at that hat.
I mean, that is
watching about 15 years.
That's right. My father's so right about that. That hat has not been washed in more than 15 years. Look at it. That brown is not a color of paint in the hat. That brown is filth. It's dust.
On ESPN, Diamondbacks and Angels.
As I may have mentioned, the producer of the show, scraps is what they're giving us. Now they tell me there's Dyson, and he runs a bunch of steps to make an out. I don't know whether it's more steps than the Astro ran, but let's check in with Dyson against Upton.
Let's count him. You want to count him? Let's count him.
Here comes.
Bases loaded. That's a 3-2 pitch. Oh, he makes it look easy.
Bases loaded, game on the line, doubles them up here, no? Oh, no.
No. They tagged up, but still made that look easy. And didn't run the 120 steps by the aforementioned Astro. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
One of the best plays in a biggest situation that I've seen in a long time.
Okay, that's nonsense, gibberish from that announcer. Izzy, are you intrigued?
If the producers are allowed to be lazy, I'm going to be lazy. Nope.
Okay, very good. Papi, are you intrigued? He'll handle lazy for everybody. Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But I'll tell you what, Upshaw, you gotta hit that ball, hard there. You gotta go all the way deep. You gotta go over defense. That was a lazy fly ball, you know what I mean? And then you made a big deal about it. That was an easy pop fly to center field. That's all, you know what I mean? That's it. Mm-hmm. To make sure you gotta hit it out of the ballpark.
Right.
That's right. That's the trick.
Get it
you're
right
in the major
next
leagues,
time, Upshaw. Do you know that his name's not Upshaw?
What's his name?
Upton.
Upton, what is his name?
Okay, it's the same thing. Whatever. It's the same thing. Don't hit the ball further and I'll remember your name.
That's what you got to do. Get it over defense. You know what I mean? Whatever your name is, that's it.
We'll change your name if you don't hit the home run.
The NBA Final. I'm talking about the NBA Final.
Another LeBron topic.
All right, let's go. Let's just do it. They're filming. Go ahead.
On HBO, courtside at the NBA Finals.
All right, you may have heard my father complaining. Another LeBron story. Yes, it appears we've got another LeBron story for you.
You've got the single greatest collection of talent on one side. You've got the greatest individual talent in the NBA on the other. Let's do it one more time and find out.
Moment is here, man. Here we go. Enjoy and embrace it all together.
They are absolute great competitors. Now Green and Tristan Thompson upset with something. And J.R. Smith dribbles it out.
That was one of the best game ones I've ever seen.
Unbelievable game.
Gotta go to Cleveland, man. Get it done.
It's deja vu all over again. Here we go.
Very dramatic. I mean, it was just a sweep. It wasn't that interesting at all. And the only thing that was interesting is some dude forgot the score. Izzy, are you intrigued?
You know what's really interesting? The major networks get all that access to these players, and somehow Charles Barkley wasn't able to go face-to-face with Draymond Green.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Boy, they show a lot of videos there, but do they have the video of LeBron faking his hand injury there?
My father doesn't even have to hold up a card. That's all the commentary that needs to be had on this particular subject.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We will talk to you tomorrow. I didn't mean for it to sound like a threat.
Vaya con Dios.
Hey, JC, from one old guy to the other.
What just happened here? All right, extra.
Think about it. It's a good.